はい、こんにちは。今日はなんとレッドロックの工場に来てしまいました。Okay, thank you, Dan and Nick. Thank you for having us. And
Thanks for coming
let
by.
me ask you something. Your history. So when did you guys start this company? Why you decide to start? And can you explain something?
Yeah, sure. I can start out. And Nick and I started in 2011. Started making sandals. We were both doing restoration work on rivers in Humboldt County, where Nick and I met doing this program called AmeriCorps, and we were trying to create better habitats for salmon to spawn up in like the little creeks and rivers. And so we were walking up and down creeks and streams that people hadn't walked up for 10 years because there's a survey every 10 years. And so these beautiful rivers and counting the amount of salmon we saw. And so we were doing a lot of field work like that. And at the time, Nick and I were really into more minimalist, starting to get into minimalist footwear. So, you know, like freedom feeling, flexible footwear, and we just didn't have a sandal we could use when the weather got hot for ourselves and our friends who are working in the streams. And so we just started kind of tinkering with different designs.
Nice.
And this is one of the first ones that Nick made.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is the first one that we made, and throughout the start of our business and to now, basically, we've always been trying to improve. And you can see our sandals have changed a lot from this. But basically, we just really grounded ourselves around that, like having it be an outdoor focused company that is serving people that are really pushing the limits of wearing sandals in the outdoors and trying to make the best sandal for that. To try to make it so it's really versatile and able to do anything that you need to.
Yeah, so I can see it's kind of many sandals in the world. And most of sandals are really try to fit well, then became like weight problem.
Totally.
And, I got so many sandals, but I saw the first time your sandals, it's just, oh my God, to me. So is that the same way you felt the time, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think our first sandal, like this guy, we were really excited about this design. I mean, at the time, Nick and I were, you know, like bumming around. I was living in my van. We were just kind of traveling around. We didn't really have much of anything to make stuff, so, you know, like Nick cut this out by hand with a box cutter, and then we found this webbing online and laced it through and melted this with a lighter. So it was really simple in the way we were making it, but the idea we had was kind of the aha moment of like taking this really like traditional design where the straps run around each other and where there's a heel strap and a toe strap instead of a strap that goes across your toe box for just simplicity of design and like foot freedom. And the aha moment was when we realized we could take this design that was traditionally made with leather lace and use webbing and use a buckle instead of a knot that the leather lace might be tied on. So this was our first design, and we were really stoked about that. And we still like that design, but we realized it had some shortcomings pretty early on. That was in 2011 when we launched, and we launched on Kickstarter, and Kickstarter was still pretty new. Like most people didn't know what Kickstarter was. And we were stoked. We were like, oh man! I mean, we were trying to raise, I think, $4,000 or maybe, I don't know, $3,000. We were like, that'd be cool, you know, that'll work. And then we ended up raising a lot more than that, and relatively, we were really excited, and it was cool to kind of kickstart that way. But soon on, we realized that some of the shortcomings we had to address just to make stuff better for how we wanted to use trails and rivers and experience them. So, you know, we actually on this table we have kind of a few iterations here. This is our current classics we have here, which you can really see the DNA transfer from our first classic models to the current. But, we did things like we glued and stitched on a footbed that was made from ballistic nylon that makes this totally bomber, impossible to break, and it also gives your foot way more grip when it's wet because of this really durable fabric. We did things like adding this elastic on the heel to make it more comfortable. We sewed on recycled bike inner tubes around the webbing to make it stand up more so it doesn't fall off your heel. We came up with this paracord loop toe post because it's way more comfortable and it flexes more between your toes, and it doesn't have edges like webbing does. So you can kind of see like a few of the design iterations we came out with on this style. Then in 2014, Nick and I started working on the Cairn model. Really just wanted something that was like took this to the next level of durability and performance, and like kind of took what we liked from the classic but then turned it into this like ultra bomber trail monster of a sandal that was still really lightweight but was like invincible. So we added these, we worked with Vibram, we made these really big wing supports here. That's all fabric reinforced with USA military webbing that runs through the sole. Yeah, I mean, it's basically gives you a ton of lateral stability and support, more than shoes in some instances and trail runners. And then we took this single lace design and we realized it would be a lot more effective if we spread the adjustments out to 3 different adjusting points, 2 of which are like a one-time adjuster. You adjust the heel strap to the length of your foot and adjust this hook strap we came out with to the angle and the geometry of your foot. And then the idea was that this ladder lock buckle is your everyday in and out. This is basically all you use. So there's a lot more simplicity in that, and you can adjust it really tight. So the idea was, let's create this new strap system that shares things in common with the classics in terms of its just simplicity of having a heel strap and a toe post, but let's make it a lot more bomber effective and simple to use. That's when we came out with this design, and we've come out with a couple iterations of it with the new 3D footbed, and then just small things that we nerd out about with Vibram, like changing the wing geometry a little bit, things most people probably won't notice. We also have, on the Cairn, we have an internal plug system that we like to think is probably one of the strongest toe posts ever made on a sandal, because it's just super engineered. We have a photo of Nick hanging from the wall somewhere in the back there on this, testing it. But yeah, it's just really streamlined, just pure Vibram sole on the bottom. And it's kind of like the evolution, and we have a few other things in the works over the next couple of years in terms of sandal stuff, and then closed-toed footwear that we're really excited about.
Cool. All right. Thank you for explaining about your shoes, and thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
Awesome.